Earlier, Dariel was expelled for being the weakest in the Demon King's army. On his travels he saves Marika. Marika takes him to her village. He revealed that he had been human all a long time. Dariel joins the village's adventurers guild, where it is revealed that he is perfectly suited for all human combat styles. With his second life and newfound powers, he seeks to help the village by completing quests while leveling up. The story continues when Satom calls out to Dariel. Dariel opens the door. He says that Lancel is the previous hero. At that moment he hears the voice of Zebiantis. Dariel tells Zebiantis that Lancel is the strongest hero in history. Zebiantis is surprised, and at that moment any children come to see Lancel the hero, so he offers the ex-hero a seat on the sofa. Zebians thinks that he's a kind man, but Dariel reminds her that he's only like that to humans and pleads with her to get away from the village. When she gets the chance, he reminds her to be careful not to use magic until she reaches far from the area. The Lancel can sense magic. The demon general still doesn't understand the danger that she's in, as she casually takes one of his donuts to eat. When they finally get a moment, Dariel apologizes for not introducing himself earlier, so he uses the opportunity to do so. He pleads to know what brings such a legend to a small village like Luxay. Lancel reveals that he heard that his apprentice has been giving him a little trouble. Lady interrupts with an apology to her master for delaying her journey to vanquish the Demon King. He informs her that there is no need for her to apologize and rather blames himself. Alonso believes that he was too hasty in sending her off on the mission. Now that his wounds have healed, he wants to teach her all the things that he forgot to include. This makes both Dariel and Lady happy for different reasons. The chief is relieved that it will give Zebians the time to escape. He immediately offers to show Lancel their training grounds, but before they go, the old man points to Gashitar, who is creepily watching them from outside. He informs the ex-hero that the pirated Zoro's their strongest hero. Everyone excitedly comes to watch the legendary Lancel give a lesson. Dariel feels that something is off and looks over to see Gashitar staring at him, so he tells him to look at the previous hero because he will learn a lot before the lesson begins. He informs Lady that he will be instructing her through actual battle practice while he casually signs some autographs. He tells her to attack whenever she's ready. Lady activates her aura and begins her assault, but Lancel dodges while attending to his signing, which shocks everyone. He doesn't want to keep the children waiting for long, so he doesn't know look to finger catch of her blade before he tosses her to the ground, putting an end to everything as she struggles to get up. Dariel wonders if this is what he meant by actual battle, because it just looks like he's toying with her. He is just surprised that the current hero is so helpless against the former. All the while Lady thanks him for the lesson. Lancel notices that her sword skills has significantly improved. She reveals that Dariel has been teaching her, which shocks him. She carries on singing his praises, stating that besides a landfill he is the strongest person she has met. The chief is not edged because he doesn't want the old man to get provoked. His worst fears come true when Lancel unfolds his staff, as he discloses that when someone becomes truly strong it is difficult to sense their true power. This is because the person tries their best to hide it. He requests that Dariel spars strength that makes his apprentice speak about the chief in such a poetic way. Dariel tries to play the retired adventurer card, but it doesn't work. The other villagers are a little worried about their chief facing such an opponent, but fanboy Kashida defends his chief's strength as he cries the chief step down the face, and just before they clash he senses Lancel's aura, which terrifies him. Dariel postpones the fight by suggesting that they should have lunch first, since they can't have a good fight with an empty stomach. The old man can't argue with that logic, so they head out under the shade to eat the food. Lancel tastes the shrimp tempura and loves it and even praises it. Like her, Lascelles says he became a hero because demons killed his family. This Dariel imagines himself in relation to his family. Zebiantis watched the hero from afar. Suddenly Dust the Wind tries to carry away the dirt. He uses his magic to climb up to catch her. Lancel immediately senses the use of magic and throws his spear at Zebiantis. Zebiantis hangs on the wall. Lancel attacks Zebiantis again. Dariel tries to block it. Attacker Lancel asks the chief to excuse himself while he deals with the demon and promises to have the match with him later. Dariel stands his ground, stating that he will not accept the taking of anyone's life in the village, no matter who they are. The aura of the ex-hero reminds him of their first encounter where Grand Baza faced him. Dariel pleads with Lancel to hear him out, but he snaps the wooden barrister to use as a weapon. The chief slashes at him, but he dodges, leaping over him. He tries to apprehend the old man, but he deflects it and counters with an energy blast. Dariel block box, but gets knocked back, so he grabs Zidiance as he falls to move her out of harm's way. Lancel throws the wood at them, but Dariel struggles to block it even with an earth-enhanced guard. Lady and Usaita finally catch up, but the chief orders them to stay back. The ex-hero is surprised to meet someone like him who is blessed with all four attributes. He asks Dariel to re-enlist as an adventurer so that they can wreak havoc on the demons, but he turns down the offer. Lancel decides to use his most powerful attack. Dariel counters with the same technique, but as they clash, the ex-hero's attack gets the upper hand and blows him back as he tries to block as the smoke is about to clear. Lady stands and pleads for her master to stop, but one stare from him lets her know not to interfere. When the dust finally settles, Dale's arms have taken some heavy damage as he gets held by Zebians and Goshadora. Lancel is interested to know why he protects demons, and from his answer he figures that the chief's goal is peace between the two races. Dariel brings up the Lancel's past and empathizes with his pain, and since he too has a wife and child, he also reveals that he was raised by demons, which makes him have an affinity with him. This revelation shocks Lancel. Meanwhile, at the Demon King's castle, Grand Baza comes to see the boss to plead with him to fire his son Bash Baza. The Demon King feels like Grand Baza wants this because Bash Baza fired his adopted brother from the army. Grand Baza denies this, stating that he loves both his sons, but Bash Baza's blunders in the past year have been unforgivable. He thinks back to the day he met Dariel. It was just after a battle. The general of Waterpizen pointed him to the baby's location, stating that he's a weapon that can be used to neutralize the hero. Grand Baza immediately had a soft spot for the baby before taking him as a son and named him Dariel. Things come back to the present when the Demon King tells the previous Fire King that his adopted son is at Lux Village, but warns him that he might not be able to bring him back because he has settled there rather well. There are reports that, like the previous hero, Dariel has all 4 types of auras and does grey deeds. This takes Grey and Baza by surprise a little, but he remembers what the Water General said about him being a secret weapon against the hero. Meanwhile, at Lux Village, Atlanta wants to hear more about his story, so Dariel enlightens him that Bazetan found him and entrusted him to Grand Baza, who raised him. Lancel is the one who put an end to the Water General for the raid on his village, but his son's corpse was never returned to him. He was only left with his wife's body. Everything finally clicks for Lancel as he puts the information together. He gasps in amazement for a moment before asking Dariel how old he is. The chief tells him that he's 33 and wants to know why. Lancel quietly walks over and hugs him as he emotionally tells Dariel that he's his son. This guy is bringing out his inner Darth Vader vibes. Was anyone expecting the son to scream no in a dramatic way? This takes Dariel and everyone by surprise as he explains that 33 years ago his wife was finished by Barzan, but Lancel thought he ended his son too after hearing the deals of Dale's story, plus the fact that the 4 aura attributes are from parent to child. This all proves that he is his son. Dariel is gobsmacked that he's the son of the previous hero. Their touching moment is ruined when Lancel senses Grand Baza in the forester. Lancel fires a blast at him, but Grand Baza easily blocks it and joins them. He comments on how much Dariel has grown. The stronger Dariel is simply stunned, confronted them and reunited with their biological and adopted fathers. This concludes the 9th episode.